you'll need to know about the layers palette that are really important at this stage. We've already talked about locking the transparency. Again, we do that when we want to fill just an object, not the whole layer. Okay? The next one over has a paintbrush icon. This locks the layer from being painted upon. And you'll know it's locked because you see a little lock icon show up over here. So if without it on, I could grab a paintbrush and paint on the layer. Let's undo that. Once I lock that, then I can no longer, it's giving me the international symbol for, oh no you don't. So we're not going to be able to paint on that layer while that's locked. Okay? The next one over locks movement. Once I've clicked the locked movement, the lock icon shows up, and I pick it up, and I can't move it. I can paint on it. There's a warning, could not complete your request because the layer is locked. I can paint on it, but I can't move it. The very last icon at the far right locks everything. Locks the transparency, you can't paint it, you can't move it, you can't do anything. This is when you have a layer you don't want to be messed with. That's the one you click at the very end there. Now, another thing that they've done is they allow you to, and they've been able to do this since back in Photoshop 3, is to name your layers. To name your layers, Option double click on the layer's name. Option double click on PC, Alt double click, and it brings up your layer properties dialog. Here's where you can name your layers. We'll call this Canteen. And you can color code your layers. The only reason to color code your layers really is for your own use, to help you visually identify. So if you want everything that you're working with the Canteen to be a particular color, so you can find it easily, you can just choose a color, green or whatever you like, blue. We'll choose something kind of bright like green. So I know that my Canteen layer is green. Again, you use these color codings for your own use, to help you visually identify layers. It's not necessary. It's totally at your discretion. We click OK, and now we've named the file Canteen, and we've color coded it green. So that's one way of layer management. Another way that you can layer manage is to add layer sets. Looks like a little folder here. You just click and it adds a little tiny folder up here. Well, here's the thinking behind the sets. With Photoshop 6.0, when Photoshop 6.0 was introduced, Adobe pretty much took the lid off of how many layers you could have. You used to have a 99 layer limit. Now the limit is the sky. So you can pretty much add as many layers as you want. Well, once you start getting about 300 or 400 layers, things get crazy. Actually, things get crazy when you get to about 15 or 20 layers, and you'll find yourself screwed.